My name is Mackenzie Wilk, and I graduated from Flagler College in 2016 with a degree in elementary education with endorsements in ESOL and reading.
Growing up, I always participated in sports, especially with my three older brothers always pushing me to go further. My passion was not always in the athletic realm. It was not until my father introduced me to yoga that I really started to find myself. I had no idea the impact it would have on me or my life. After a couple years of casual practicing, I decided to get it certified as an instructor. Yoga still remains a huge part of my life, and it has taught me patience and appreciation for the world around me. The discipline I learned during the 6 months training in 2012 is something I'll never forget and always look back on to reorient myself. I started my teaching career by instructing the kids' yoga classes, and in those hour and 15 minutes, I had some of the most fun and best memories. In that little yoga classroom is where I understood the amount that I have to learn from children.
Kinsey, tell me about your philosophy of education.
Well, my philosophy of education and as a future teacher is really twofold. It goes into the idea of inspiration and the idea of creativity.
So tell me about your interest in children and education.
My love and interest for children education wasn't always so prominent with me. In my younger years, I really didn't like school, and it was hard for me to focus on the subjects just because I couldn't pay attention that well, so I really didn't have an interest in what was going on around me.
So what changed it? What made you get interested?
Well, it really goes back to my freshman year of high school when I was diagnosed with ADD and ADHD, and even after receiving my IEP that the school was required to give me, my grades were still falling, and so my parents transferred me to a small private school halfway through my sophomore year, and I really started to fall in love with what I was learning because at the school they transferred me to, which is called Lawrence, which is a school for kids with learning differences, where every student has a different way of learning and processing what's going on around them. And the teachers are specially designed to work with us and teach us how to learn in those types of environments, and how they taught us how to succeed outside of the specially designed classrooms. And that's when I really started to fall in love with learning, because I could actually learn and I was succeeding in what I was doing, and that's where it really all started for me.
So tell me, did you have a single person or teacher or friend that inspired you?
Yes, my sophomore year, she was my health teacher, my first semester at this new school, and her name was Mrs. Hopes. She had this certain light about her, and in the way that she taught and the way that she talked to students from an educational standpoint to a personal standpoint. She was a person who I immediately felt comfortable with, and I opened up to her about what I had gone through with my struggles in public school, and she told me that I wasn't alone, and she explained to me that all these students and teachers around me understood what it was like to go, from being in a struggle area to being in a classroom that you're comfortable with being who you are, and you're comfortable raising your hand and explaining to the class your personal thoughts, and no one's going to laugh at you or tell you that that's a stupid answer. And later in my high school career, she was my English teacher, and this is where I discovered that I wanted to be a teacher. I saw how she worked with students one-on-one and with us as a whole. She viewed us as individuals, and that's what made the difference. And it's just the way that she lit the inspiration within me to want to be better and want to see myself succeed. She never gave up on anyone, ever. And she came to work every day, and she loved her job, and she loved the students that she worked with, and that's where I found my inspiration. I saw that her inspiration never died out in her 38 years of teaching. That's what I want, and I want to be that light inside other students. Whatever it may be, I want to help them find their love for education. Being creative is something I really never saw myself as. I viewed it as either an artistic or a musical thing that I just never really found. And when I was in college, I took this course, General Methods of Instruction, and we had to design unit plans and lesson plans, and that's where I discovered that I have a creative side. It was when I was designing a year-round lesson plan about sharks for second graders, and just every new idea that just came flowing into my head just got me so excited about what I was doing, and I just couldn't even stop myself, and I wanted to make it even longer. But it was in these lesson plans and unit plans that I discovered that creativity comes in so many different forms. Finding the small or large things in life that get your heart racing and give you that drive to want to do better is part of inspiration. It is what you love in life and want to learn more about. You develop your own idea and definition of creativity in doing what you love. My philosophy as a teacher is to inspire students to find what makes their hearts beat faster in life. I want to help them find their creativity in whatever shape or form it may be. I want my students to know the endless possibilities that the world holds for them, that regardless of what society labels them, ADD, ADHD, dyslexic, it is not who they are. It is simply one more characteristic that makes them more unique as an individual. These two ideals are what drive me to do what I do. Being inspired is something that finds you or you find it. It is life-changing, and the moment it hits you is a moment you will